Wonderful. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. How's your day going? I'm excited to connect with you today regarding this study abroad opportunity coming up this summer in Prague. CEA is a study abroad organization we have the pleasure of partnering with the University of Michigan Ann Arbor's School of Engineering, and today we'll go through an opportunity for you that will be taking place in Prague. If you don't know, Prague is in Central Europe. It is a stunningly beautiful city. If any of you have traveled there, you know firsthand how beautiful this place is, between all the bridges and spires, and it has a smorgasbord of untouched architecture from 10 different centuries. But Prague is located in the heart of Europe. It's home to a number of famous historical and World Heritage sites. For example, the Prague Castle, the Charles Bridge here, which is shown in this photograph, Old Town Square, Jewish quarters, just to name a few. This is a wonderful location that you could be able to take advantage of for a study abroad opportunity this summer. And the art, I call this a total package city. It's got everything from the nightlife to arts, culture, the architecture, etc. You're in for a treat if you go on this program. Let's see here. There we go. So today, myself and Diane will be presenting. I'm working with CEA Study Abroad. We partner with the University of Michigan Ann Arbor Engineering School on this program. And Diane, do you want to say a few words?
Hi, everyone. I am the program manager for this program. And I am also new to University of Michigan, but I was from the University of Pittsburgh sending engineers abroad. So I have lots of experience in this area. And just want to mention that I am the assistant director of the office, so it could change a little bit. We're hiring some new advisors. So down the road, if you do apply to this program, there could be some other advisors that do become the program manager for this program, but you can always contact me if you have questions.
Thank you. So the Prague program is, just to give you an overview of, before we dive into the various aspects of the program. The program dates run from May 14th to June 25th, so a couple weeks after the end of your winter semester. The program fee is listed there, and the important date for you to know is the application due date is February 14th, but you still have a little time. But this program model, you'll have an opportunity to attend the 6-week-long program in Prague and take one technical course along with one humanities course, where you can earn anywhere from 7 to 8 credits. And some of you probably have an idea why you want to study abroad, but these are some of the top reasons why students are studying abroad. For myself, and maybe for Diane, a lot of these, I checked these boxes that were impacted me for sure. Growing up in Minnesota, yeah, I wanted to get out and see the world. Take in different cultures. I definitely made myself more marketable. Funny story, one of my first interviews outside of after I graduated, we barely even talked about the job I was interviewing for. They mainly wanted to talk with me about my study abroad experience. So, but study abroad does have a very positive impact on your making yourself marketable, and through the study abroad, you'll probably grow in different ways, and on a personal level, but also increase your interest for new things and exciting things. And then while you're studying abroad, you're going to be going through a shared experience, and you're going to be making some friends that will end up being lifelong friends. I know my wife and I still get together with our friends that we studied abroad with over 30 years ago. So you'll definitely probably check some of these boxes if you do study abroad. And then if looking ahead, if you are looking to go to grad schools do look favorably upon students that go do study abroad. So you're wondering again, probably who CEA is. We're an organization that specializes in helping students study abroad. We've been partnering with the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor for many years, and we've actually had over, I think, about 1,500 students going on our programs from the university. We work and provide study abroad program opportunities in several different countries and cities around the world, and we help students once they're on site get enrolled in the program that they need, set up housing, and we provide cultural activities and excursions and on-site support throughout your whole study abroad experience. Our vision is to help you have the most successful study abroad experience as possible, but also to help you with your employability after you study abroad. Study abroad does have such a positive impact on your academic experience, and you'll definitely benefit from taking advantage of these programs that are available to you through the University of Michigan and CEA. Just to let you know, as I mentioned, we have programs in 13 different cities, 22 cities around the world, and annually we help about 5,000 students study abroad. One of the hot topics, obviously, these days is COVID. I just wanted to get this out right away early in the presentation, just if it's top of mind. CEA does have already COVID protocols and policies and procedures in place, so rest assured you're going to be taken care of on the health and safety and COVID related things. You'll be required to be fully vaccinated to study abroad with us, and by the time you study abroad, you probably will be required to have a booster as well. We'll keep you up to date on that as things during the enrollment process, but we'll have all these protocols in place, such as mask mandates. We'll have social distancing and all these other protocols in place, but you'll be brought up to speed on that through the orientation process prior and also when you're on site. Through this partnership and with the University of Michigan, they've reviewed and approved 4 of our engineering programs. We have approvals from the Office of International Programs for Rome, Paris, Prague, as we're going to talk about today, and then also Buenos Aires. So more specifically, the Prague program, this 6-week-long program, as I mentioned earlier, you have an opportunity to take a technical course along with a humanities course. The technical courses available to you are Calculus 3, Differential Equations, Engineering Statistics, and Linear Algebra. All these have been reviewed and approved for you, so you'll know that you'll be able to transfer these credits back to your degree, as well as these elective humanity courses. We have some new courses that are being launched right now, but Diane and her colleagues will be reviewing these, but these will be coming back as like a humanities credit, right, Diane?
Yes, I actually just put in the Czech culture, food, and brewing tradition. So we hope to hear back in the next couple of weeks what that one transfers for.
Yeah. Do you have any comments, Diane, on the technical courses?
No, I think you can see the prerequisites and how they transfer in. So if any of you have any questions, obviously we can take questions at the end, but these are the courses you would choose from in the application process as well.
Great, thank you. And probably wondering where you're going to be studying. CEA has what we call a study center. It's right in the heart of Prague, right off the Charles Bridge and Old Town Square. We intentionally have our study centers in the center part of the city, so our faculty and can spill out of our study center and classrooms and and use the city as a classroom. So you're in for a treat. We have a brand new center in Prague, just located right off of Old Town Square. These are the photos of our new center. If you're familiar with the astronomical clock, which is in Old Town Square, if you stand in front of there and walk to the right 5 minutes, you'll be hitting this study center. This will have classroom space. Don't worry, it has Wi-Fi. We'll have flexible classrooms and whiteboards and projectors, but it's where we have our CEA office and where your classrooms will be held. And my colleagues, these are photographs of my colleagues that are there to service and support you on all different levels, from if you have questions relative to your housing, or you have questions relative to just the cultural differences you may be experiencing, or if you get sick or need to go to the clinic or hospital, they're there to help and support you. Again, my colleagues are there to help you get the most out of your study abroad experience. Great thing about and fun thing about studying abroad is, and programming with us, is that we build a lot of things into your program. And one of the fun things, the study abroad experience with us, we include some excursions into your program. These are some examples of some past trips that we've taken students to. We mix it up during throughout the year, but these are some examples of some previous trips that we've gone to. The excursions that we have for you will be definitely set, and you'll be notified like 2 weeks before you arrive on site in Prague. But for example, this Terezin fortress is an 18th century fortress that the Germans use as a camp. It's got a lot of history there. It's kept now as a memorial, but it's a potential location you get to go to and learn about the culture and history in the Czech Republic. The Karlstein site is a fortress and medieval castle from the 13th century. It's a stunningly beautiful location. If CE doesn't bring there, I hope you get to go there as well. It's one of those must-see, must-do locations. And then Kresli Krumlov is a historical World Heritage Site. It is a 500-year-old city. It's just got a lot of architectural influences that you'll be able to see throughout the years, from the Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque periods, and but also influence from other neighboring countries like Austria, Northern Italy, etc. It's on the Czech-Italian border, so it's just one of those, again, must-see, must-do locations. Then also through our program, we also include cultural activities that are, again, all part of your program, with the goal of helping you get a deeper understanding of the Czech culture. And these are some of the examples of things we've done with the students in the past. I've gone to the Strahov Monastery and Brewery. I've been there. It's a really neat place. It's right off near central Prague. You might have a Czech cooking class. You might have an opportunity to go to like a hockey or soccer game, but and these are just a few things that are built into your program with the goal of giving you a deeper understanding of the Czech culture. Well, probably one of the first things, cultural impacts that you'll have when arriving into the Czech Republic of Prague is your housing. You can imagine that Prague is an old city, so all of our housing may have a different look or flair to it. But when I've been to many of them, two of them when I visited Prague, they do have a look and feel of like being like in an IKEA store. But they're all like modern apartments, but in these old buildings. They'll all probably be within 20 to 30 minutes of the study center through walking or through public transportation. but all our apartments will have Wi-Fi. You'll be living with other CEA study abroad students, maybe from University of Michigan or other universities where we have students coming from. All of our apartments will be fully stocked with kitchen items, so for you to be able to cook your own meals, and you'll be living amongst people from the Prague. So you might be living with a family or young professionals next door. So you may have an opportunity to engage with them, but also you got to be aware and mindful of them and their surroundings as you live in these various Prague neighborhoods. So
I was just going to say, I might take this one if that's okay.
Sure, sure.
So as a part of the program fee, and we did list that at the beginning of the presentation, it isn't to be announced. Sorry, that was in there. But it includes both tuition for courses, and you are billed through the University of Michigan. You are going to also receive GO Blue health insurance, an orientation prior to departure. As John mentioned, you will be provided accommodations and 24/7 emergency assistance. They will be picking you up at the airport, so that will be coordinated after you've confirmed. There are also, as he explained, opportunities to learn about where you are with the city tour, orientation, welcome and farewell events, and excursions, etc. But what's important is when you are looking at what's included, it's also important to understand what's not included. So we will have an updated budget sheet listed on the mCompass site. But just keep in mind that all your out-of-pocket expenses, such as housing, airfare, food, additional costs for whatever other personal items you want to get, that is not included, and you will have to think about that as you're planning your opportunity to go.
Great. Scholarships. Did you want to touch on that, Diana?
About this one too. So the college has a couple of funding opportunities through the College of Engineering, the Office of Student Affairs. We also have a blogger scholarship. So if you go to our funding page, you can find a little more information about the funding that's offered through the College of Engineering in our office. Much of which we talk about and remind you of after you've been accepted into the program. And then, John, do you want to talk about the CEA scholarships?
Yes. So once you get enrolled in a program and we start working with you and during the enrollment process, each student will get what was called a My CEA account. It's your own little personal portal. In the portal, there'll be a link to CEA scholarships that you can apply for. So please do apply. It's amazing how much money or how many scholarships are available that would actually fit just about any student that apply to the program. Basically, it is you'll get a theme or you have to complete a short essay to 400 to 500 words on a topic we provide you and a short application. You could probably knock it off in a few minutes while you're at the coffee shop. But for example, I know like for our semester programs, we typically get about 2,000 to 3,000 students going abroad on our semester programs, and we typically only get like 100 to 150 students applying for scholarships. But just take a few minutes, write a short essay, and it might be a possibility of getting a scholarship.
Great, thank you. I can also talk a little bit about the application process, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So you're first going to apply to the mCompass system, which many of you might have already started that process. And we did mention the deadline, which is February 14th. Once you have been accepted, then CEA will be communicating with you a lot, like John mentioned, the portal, etc. And there'll be orientation opportunities after that so that you're prepared to go abroad. Important part of the application process is it's important to know who's eligible to go on the program. If you want to hit the next slide, John.
Sure.
So you have to have at least a 2.5 GPA. You have to currently be a U of M Ann Arbor COE student in good standing. Oh, go back one really quick. No problem. You have to be undergraduate. You can be a first-year student or above to apply, and that's based on the regardless of credit hours, how long you've been at the university. And there is no foreign language proficiency for the program, so that's helpful. And then the next steps for the program are finish your application by the deadline. You need to qualify for the program, and you must have a valid passport. So you either have to have applied for a passport or applied to renew your passport by the program deadline of February 14th. So if you're watching this before winter break, take a look at your passport, make sure it's valid. It should be valid for we suggest a year after the program end date. And then if you do need to apply for a passport or to renew your passport, please do so and use the expedited process. We understand that if you don't expedite your passport, it could take up to 11 weeks to get your passport, and it could be too late depending on the date you applied. Your application, as I mentioned in the beginning, you'll choose one technical and one humanities course in your application. You'll also confirm that after you've been accepted, which course you'll be taking. Your application will be reviewed, and you should know if you've been accepted a week after the deadline. And then you can confirm your participation a week after you've been accepted into the program. That could vary depending on some of our processes and spring break. So you might have up to 2 weeks to confirm your participation. Next slide. So we also suggest a few important things. If you have not already signed up for our newsletter, please do. If you go to our website, it's right on the homepage up on the front. You can also go to our advising page and sign up for a summer advising 101 session. That gives you a lot more information also about other summer opportunities. And if you're not a US citizen, we highly suggest you check the official website for the Czech Republic to determine if you need a visa. US citizens do not need a visa if you're going for less than 90 days. And just know IPE does not assist with visa applications. Next slide. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, I'm your program manager. So feel free to send me an email if you have questions, or you can schedule an appointment with me on our advising page. And last but not least, some amazing photos of participants that have gone to Prague. And then we have time for any of your questions before we end the presentation. Do we have any other questions? One person asked if it was possible to take 2 technical courses instead of a humanities. And the way the program's set up is it's 1 technical course and 1 humanities course. Any other questions from the group? We have about 3 minutes before we end, so feel free to ask your questions.
Anybody want to share why they're looking at Prague for study abroad?
Probably because you need the math courses. Which is totally a great reason and why we set these programs up so that you can fulfill requirements you need. I would encourage you to reach out to me if you do have any other questions. Feel free to send me an email or set up a time to talk. And we look forward to seeing your application. Any other last minute questions?
I have a quick question. For like the application, what are you guys looking for to like admit people? Like, is it just everyone that qualifies gets in, or is there like a hierarchy that you consider?
Sarah, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked it. So you do need to meet the minimum requirements, and that is essential. We will be reviewing applications and having what we call a rubric to decide on applicants. So for example, if you were an upperclassman still looking to take some of these math courses, most likely we would want to accept students who this might be their last opportunity to study abroad. And that's sort of a general way that we're looking at that. But in general, if students complete their application and are meeting the requirements, the hope is we have just the right amount of students and with just the right amount of spaces. But we will look at your essays. And we do have a rubric for how students do fill out those essays if they're thoughtful and insightful. But in the most part, you know, we hope that we just have the right amount of students for the right amount of spaces and, you know, looking toward that process. Any other questions? All right, well, we hope to hear from all of you and see your application. And we wish all of you really good luck with your exams. And if you're watching this after the exam period, we wish you good luck for the winter term. Thank you so much, John. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye now.